guess we're live. I just I overtook his stream, I think. Damn it. He's gonna kill me. Hello and welcome in, at least with the audio, to the Erie Tiger Network. Brandon Bird here with you, trying to work out some of our new things. We're constantly learning. Guess what? We're probably going to have replay. That was something we were trying to add for you here between the broadcasts. Or rather in the hour leading up. So a 4-0 lead here for the Tigers to start out this one early. Brandon Bird here with you. Madison Gambon is our director. Ethan Dillinger on camera, a 3-man crew. We're going to have, I think, some cool instant replay. we're continuing to learn, but we're setting up things. We're trying to also build a scoreboard graphic. We have one. It's not quite ready to fire live, so just FYI, as there's a nice jumper from downtown for Grace Moyers. Welcome in, everybody. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel here. And if you hit the notification icon every time we go live, like we just did momentarily before this game started, you will get notified. That's a good thing. So Fossil Trace trying to figure out who's going to throw in the basketball here. That one's off the mark. Almost stolen there by Moyers, corralled. And the Saber Cats will reset here. That one's partially blocked in the paint, picked up off the iron. That's no good. Fossil Trace, another second chance opportunity and a foul. And she will go to the line to shoot a couple. We have been working against the clock in our little setups here, so it's been a lot of fun, though. We have a brand new system. We'll have multi-camera instant replay soon. I know I kind of teased this the other night. I don't want to talk about it too long, but it is really high-tech. It's really nice, and when it's fully operational, it'll blow your mind, or at least it'll blow our minds. How about that? So a 7-1 lead here, 5:35 remaining in the first quarter. Moyers with it, off to Altschuler on the right timeline. She'll try and feed it low to Welty. Power dribble into the paint, high off the window, can't get that one to fall. And back the other way go the SaberCats. Fossil Ridge out of Fort Collins as there's a 3 ball, no, a deep 2. And that one is made on the far wing, and a timeout here called by Coach Walls. We will take a quick timeout here on the Erie Tiger Network. There, okay.
This is a lot.
And welcome back in, Erie Tiger Network. Brandon Bird here with you as the Erie Tigers lead Fossil Ridge, and I might accidentally call him Fossil Trace. I'm a golf coach, so forgive me. I was lucky enough to play Fossil Trace once this last summer. Anyways, you don't care about that as that one is thrown out of bounds and too far. Tigers will inbound here with Welty. Into Moyers. 4:56 remaining here in this first quarter of play. Man-to-man defense here for Fossil Ridge. Hefner has it. A little give and go right there to Moyers. Trying to feed it to her on the pick and roll. Nice pass by Welty down low to Hefner. Hefner wheels, fires over the head of Moyers and out of bounds. So a turnover for the Tigers. 4:40 remaining here in this contest in the first quarter of play. A BB pass to the corner. Kohler will take the shot. That one is front iron, finally ripped down by Altschuler. She'll fire it up to George. George wheels off right timeline. Moyers with a crossover dribble into the arc, kicks out Welty. Welty into the corner. George will fire a quick 3. George splashes the nylon. And a nice shot there by Aaliyah George from the corner. And we're just testing out our replay. Don't know what happened there. Well, we'll keep testing it. George near side, up top for Welty. Right side, Altschuler fires, hits the nylon. Deb Altschuler splashes the nylon. Play event all, I think. And that shot is just off the mark, rebounded out. Sorry, we're trying to master the replay system here, so thanks for being patient with us. There's a 3 from the corner. That's off the mark. Altschuler will grab it here on the near side. George with it. Feeds it low and knocked away, and they'll call a foul before the ball got there. I think that they will charge that one to Carly Larson, the 5'10 senior power forward. And a timeout coming on the floor. 13-6, Tigers lead it, 3:05 remaining here in the first quarter of play. Okay, so what's going on here? Welcome back in here, Tiger Network. A shot off the mark, rebounded away here on the near side, and back the other way goes Fossil Ridge, I beg your pardon. Told you it was going to happen at least once. Bounce pass into the paint, kick out. SaberCats working around the arc, 3-ball on the near side. That's off the mark, rebounded strongly by Hefner. Push ahead, 2-on-1. Little BB pass to the far side, and that one will spill out of bounds. A little bit too much muscle on that. Trying to hook up with Madeline Hartle. And now Fossil Ridge will bring it up the floor. Top of the key. The runner off the window, that's no good. Rebound is fought for. And they'll call a jump ball. Let's see if we can take a peek at, well, there's Deb's 3-ball that we saw earlier. Okay, we're learning here. Oh, goodness me. Deb with it, pass it off. Now it's Kohler. Kohler drives with the left hand and blocked by Hefner. A nice vicious block there.
No, you can't see it, just kidding.
(13-6), Tigers on top. 2:04 remaining here. The SaberCats working around the arc. Skip pass for the corner. Now near timeline. With it is Coberer, beg your pardon, and that one was ripped away. Hartle with it now. Wheels off. Deb, Aaliyah George fires. That one just short. Rebounded away that time by Eisenberner. Down the floor. Layup is no good by Kohler. Picked up by Hefner, and 1.5 minutes remaining here in the first quarter, and a 13-6 lead for the Tigers. Altschuler has it, far timeline. Now between the circles. That was Hill with it. Back to Deb, fires for 3, and hits it right between the eyes. And a timeout on the floor, and we're going to stink and see if we can actually play the replay for you there. And I don't know what's going on. It's We're doing this right now just so we can kind of learn our own stuff.
That's a block. Oh, no, just kidding.
And we're just having a hard time figuring out what the heck is going on. Well, we'll continue to play with it. All right, so out of the timeout, SaberCats with it. They'll work it around the arc. Pass into the paint. Hefner has it. Hefner off to Welty. Less than a minute to go here now in the first quarter. 10-point lead for the Tigers. Hill fakes, drives baseline, spins in the paint, kicks out. That pass is stolen, and trying to dribble around the defender was Ballack, and she stepped out of bounds, the sophomore. Sub coming into the game for the Tigers. That's Grace Moyers checking back in for Hefner. Moyers will fire the 3, and that's short front of the iron. Fossil Ridge, nice little give and go, and a nice block there by Moyers. And we don't know if that actually captured what we wanted or not. Okay. 13 seconds left here in the quarter. 16-6, Tigers on top. Thanks for being patient with us, everyone. Three-man crew here today trying to just learn our new system. We told you there'd be a couple growing pains, but made the setup real nice and easy for us today. Having that new system in place. Now it's just learning all the bells and whistles. There's a runner with the right hand. That's short. Offensive board. Putback is up, and it is good. And in the first quarter, layup by Allison Bolt, and that cuts the lead to 8. We'll step aside, take a quick timeout here on the Erie Tiger Network. Okay, what's going on? All right, welcome back in audio-wise. Thanks for being patient, everyone. We will mess and try with the instant replay at halftime, so we just don't want to disrupt your game watching time, especially since you can't be here. So, Tigers, being off the mic's bad luck. Suddenly trailed by 1. They had a 10-point lead, 18-8, and 11 unanswered here by Fossil Ridge. Now Hefner with it, dribbles into the paint, stops, goes up with the left hand. That won't fall. Hefner tracks down her own rebound, looking for help, finds Deb, pass low is stolen, and the other way goes Fossil Ridge. Bounce pass across the lane, slips through the wickets, tipped out, and Fossil Ridge will feed it into the paint in another bucket, and that's Kohler with it, and they have their biggest lead of the game. They lead it by 3. Now George with it, finds the trailer. Tigers trying to reset here without Moyers and get back into this game. No Godino either, as that shot is off the mark, as she tweaked up her ankle in a practice, and so Tigers are hoping that she'll be back in a couple weeks, as there's another made shot. That was Killy Balick with the make. And the lead up to 5 here for Fossil Ridge. Deb with it, off on the right side. She'll give it to Hill. Excuse me, that's Hartle with it. Hartle between the circles, off to Deb. Deb's feed down low is picked up on the floor, but leaning out of bounds was Hartle. So Tigers trying to get through this slump, and a 30-second timeout on the floor, so we'll stick right here. Brandon Bird here with you. Tiger fans, we are live from the Gen Realty broadcast booth here at Erie High School, and it is a real broadcast booth. We got dual monitors, whole shebang up here in the Crow's Nest. So a huge shout out and thanks to Gen Realty. Tiger fans, we'd also love if you would partner with us. Head over to patreon.com/Erie Tiger Network. You can support us. You can get some Erie Tiger Network swag even for supporting us. So go and do that. Every little bit helps. And we'll also be starting up our in-game sponsorship reads here soon as well. We'll try and work those in here in the second half. And so thank you to all our supporters on Patreon and just anyone that supports us in any fashion across the Erie Tiger Network. 2:28 remaining here in the first half. It's kind of flown by. And the Tigers, who were up 18-8, now find themselves down 23-18. So they have pretty much laid a goose egg here in the second quarter. But I tell you what, you see one fall, then the worm starts to turn. With Grace back out on the floor, let's see what they can do. Hill fires the deep 2. That's off the mark. Rebounded, though, by Hefner. Dribbles back to the center of the paint and lays it up and in. And so Hefner with it. A good lay in there. Tigers cut the lead to 3, near side timeline. Bounce pass. That one is chopped away. Fossil Ridge works it around the arc. Gotten hot of late. Eisenbrenner with it. Brenner, beg your pardon. Tigers in a 2-3 zone. 3 balls off the mark. Hefner snatches the rebound with one hand. 1.5 minutes remaining. Pass up to Moyers. That's tipped and it will stay Tiger basketball. As Eisenbrenner came over. Or Eisbrenner. Altshuler with it now. Back to Grace. Grace looking for a screen from Hefner. They get the switch. Mismatch down low. Moyers read it. A little scoop off the window and a good little recognition there by the point guard, Grace Moyers. Found the mismatch, and Hefner just used her size well. Hill almost stole that one. Kohler with it. She'll cycle back up between the circles. Left side now for Eisbrenner. Back up top, Kohler fires a 3 and tickles the twine, and it's a 4-point game here for Fossil Ridge with less than a minute to go now in the second quarter. Moyers walks it across the midline. Grace with it, looking for a double screen here. Little pick and roll action, kicks it to the corner, wide open for three is Hartle. That's off the mark. Rebound, oh, and they'll call it off of Fossil Ridge. Thought that might have hit the top of Hefner's head, but they'll stay right here. Underneath the basket now, 37 seconds left here in the quarter. Inbound to Hill. Hill drives hard with the right hand. She's being harassed, and she'll draw the foul. It's a foul on the floor. It's only the third team foul of the half for Fossil Ridge. In fact, it's been a pretty cleanly played first half. Only 3 fouls apiece for either team. Now an inbound here. Hartle looking in, gets it in to Moyers. That was tipped, and the referee snatched it. 4-point lead for Fossil Ridge. A huge turnaround in this quarter. Hill with it, catches, eludes the defender, off to Hefner, middle of the paint, up and under, nice footwork, gets the bucket to go, and Hefner tweaked up. She's picking herself off the floor. She's limping on the way down. We certainly hope she's okay. And in fact, the assistant coach, Ben Wu-Ching, tells Ava Welty to sub in for her. I think a player just undercut her, and she might have twisted a knee or an ankle. 19 seconds left. 2-point lead here for Fossil Ridge. Bolt now near side. That's Eisbrenner. Right side three by Kohlers, off the mark, rebounded. Hill tried to push it forward, would have been a one-on-one. Instead, 6 seconds left. Fossil Ridge will have the last shot. Three ball rattles out, rebounded by the Tigers, and we will head to halftime. So Erie surprisingly trails it by 2 here after a huge run by Fossil Ridge in that quarter. We'll take a timeout for halftime here on the Erie Tigers. And welcome back in for the second half of action. We're trying to see if we can learn our replay system. And of course, as soon as we come back, a shot and a make there by Fossil Ridge. A team out of Fort Collins. Of course, this girls team had a big win over Broomfield earlier this week. Trying to back that up here tonight. Without one of the more dynamic players in the state of Colorado in G. Godino. Tigers start out in a zone defense here. Fossil Ridge making shots and making them pay for being in that zone. And it's getting a little dicey here for the Tigers. Obviously plenty of time, but since the start of the second quarter, they just have struggled on both ends of the floor. Hill with it. She'll fire a three. That's off the mark. Now a three ball again. Oh my goodness, from the side it hits glass and drops in. Everything's falling right now for Fossil Ridge. They'll take it. It's a 10-point lead. Now for Fossil Ridge, the SaberCats on top. Hefner off to Hill. Hill top of the arc looking. Welty back to the basket, spins down the paint off the bottom of the backboard, but she draws the foul, and that's team foul number 1 here in this first half of play. Or excuse me, second half of play. Goodness. In the girls basketball preseason poll, Fossil Ridge, a 5A school, by the way. They are the 8th ranked team. Broomfield the 7th. So Erie trying to knock off 2 top 10 5A teams to start the season, as Welty will hit both and cuts the lead back to 8. So this is a solid team here. But when you saw how Erie dealt with Broomfield, you thought, well, they could do the same here, but Fossil Ridge baring their teeth in a battle of the Cats. A 3-ball on the way. That's off the mark. Rebounded by Hefner. Up to Deb. See if they can't get Deb going a little bit here, as Welty tried to hand it off to Moyers, and that's knocked out of bounds. Good trailing defense that time by Kohler. Maddie Kohler, a captain, but only a junior. And she has been really good so far tonight. Moyers will inbound here to Hefner. Good to see her out there. Just a little tweak of the leg. They try and find Hefner backdoor, and it's tipped out. Hefner smartly lets that go out of bounds. Coach Walls will now set up the inbound play here. Tigers stacked to the right side of the key. Welty get it into Grace. Nice little delayed screen there, and a foul drawn there by Hefner, and so Hefner will go to the line. Now Hefner will hit the front end of her 2. And Natalie Zarcher will check into the game here for Carly Larson. Carly, that's her 3rd foul in a game where there's only 5 total fouls now, and Carly has 3 of them. Hefner hits both, so the Tigers good from the stripe in their last 2 trips, 4 of 4. They've cut this lead back to 6, 2 possessions. Tigers in a 3-2 zone right now, trying to defend the perimeter a little more. Fossil Ridge taking their time, working along the arc. Kohler just playing catch with Eisberner, and a big block there by Hefner recovering. Tigers have the length advantage. You don't see that too often in games, but right now, a little bit longer of a team. See if that'll help them on the boards like right there with Deb. Deb races up with the right hand, crossover dribble into the paint, stops, goes under the defender, too strong, follows her shot, gets her own rebound, puts it up, draws the foul, and will go to the line. So 3 shooting fouls here in the first 3 minutes and 9 seconds of this third quarter as Altshuler will toe the stripe. Tigers 4 for 4 so far in this half from the charity stripe as Deb will fire this one short with the right hand. Tell you what, you can hear a pin drop as Deb makes that one. I think that's harder to shoot free throws in a silent gym with people watching as opposed to a full gym, people trying to make you miss. Maybe that's just me. And the first foul coming on Erie. I think that might have been on Welty as she rotated over. Oh, no, they'll call that on Grace Moyers. That's the first team foul of the half for Erie. That is Grace's third. So that is not a sight that the Erie coaching staff wants to see right now is Grace with 3 fouls. First free throw rattles in and out here for Fossil Ridge. Erie, they'll take on Fort Morgan on Groundhog's Day in their next game. February the 2nd, this upcoming week. George has it. Wheels off. Deb hesitates and now will dribble across the top of the arc here. Welty looking for a cutter. Instead, hits Grace. Crossover dribble. Nice dribble, Grace. To the rack. Off the window. That was a beautiful play there by Grace. Cuts the lead to 3. Bounce inside. Almost stolen, then blocked by Hefner. Back come the Tigers. Defense leading to offense here for Erie so far in this half. We're halfway through the third quarter. Altshuler kicks to Hefner. Anna will flip it out to Grace. Moyers with it. Man defense here for the SaberCats. 3 ball on the way, and that's just off the mark, and Deb uses her size to get the rebound, shoots it from almost behind the backboard at an awkward angle. That's missed. Fast break stolen there by Grace. Moyers trying to split the double team in the backcourt. Has a 4-on-3 down the other side. Tigers trying to use that. Wide open is Deb. Oh, just too strong off the back iron and rebounded away by the SaberCats. And a layup is partially blocked, but a foul called on Hefner. That last game against Broomfield, Grace went off for 23 points. Anna had 11. In fact, there were 4 Tigers in double digits in that first game last week, and a timeout on the floor. We'll take a quick timeout here on the Erie Tigers. Welcome back in, Erie Tiger Network. 3:23 left to go here in the third quarter. Brandon Bird here with you. Ethan Dillinger, our cameraman. Madison Gambon, our director. As we continue to roll on live here as the girls take on Fossil Ridge High School here, the 8th ranked 5A team. I mentioned that a few times now. Erie has started the season ranked number 4 in 4A with 1 first place vote. Now driving is Hefner. The scoop off the window is no good. Back the other way. Come the Tigers now. Moyers with it. Far side 3. That one hits the front of the iron. Tigers haven't quite found their mojo from deep. As there's a nice pass and almost got the and one, and the foul on George. So that'll be the 3rd of the half here for the Tigers. (31-36). Tigers still trailing it here to Fossil Ridge, but they've come out and looked a little bit stronger here in this quarter. That's off the mark. Welty will tap it out, and Moyers will have it. Tigers have had some open looks for 3, just haven't been burying those looks. Instead, they've really manufactured most of their points here from the charity stripe in this quarter. Moyers crosses over in the lane, left-handed hook shot, gets her own rebound. Looking, still in the paint, and 3 in the key is the call. And a turnover for the Tigers. I think Grace being maybe a little bit tentative there in the paint, knowing that she's got 3 fouls. They do not want her to pick up her 4th. Tigers have switched back to man defense here. Cutter from the far wing to the near side. That's a good cut, a good find, and then a good finish by Grace Moorman. Now Moyers with it up. Hartle back to Grace. Fires the deep 3. That was Lillard range. And that ball hit off a leg, and they will call that out. Last touch by George. So Tigers trail by 7 here. 1:40 remaining here in the quarter. Some changes. Hill will come in, and Deb Altschuler will come in. Hefner and Hartle out. Eisbrenner with it. Between the circles here. Sabercats taking their time. Ballack with it. Working against George. Pass near side. Welty on defense for the Tigers. That was Malk with it. Right-handed runners off the window. Good by Carly Larson. She's been quiet this game so far because she's been in foul trouble as George fires for 3. Oh! Aaliyah George splashes the nylon. And the Tigers finally make a 3. 6-point game. Malk, the turnaround and the beautiful soft touch swishes home. 40 seconds left here in the quarter. George, another open 3. Oh, that one just off the front iron. Ball ripped away. Hill with it. Fell to the floor, and they'll call a jump ball. And the possession arrow pointing toward Erie. Now Welty set to inbound here. 35 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter. 42-34. Tigers trail it here to Fossil Ridge, the 8th-ranked 5A team. Tigers struggling to get the inbound in a little bit. Now Altschuler with it. Catches between the circles. Crossover dribble. Deb picked up. Nice on the switch. Haas's off to Welty. Grace with it now. Grace looking for her stroke from 3, and she will draw the block foul. I don't think Rockwell liked it, but a little bit late rotating over. I think that was a good call there by the official. That is her 4th team foul here for the Sabercats. 42-34. Moyers will fire the three. That one is short. Hit the iron a couple times. Almost could have gone in off the bounce. Tigers trying to full court press it here, the waning moments. Coach Walls wanting this team to be good at pressing. And that's, I think, really where you miss G. She's such a tenacious full court floor defender. Pass up, good catch by Larson, dribbles, and they'll call a block foul and award 2 shots here. 5 seconds left here in the quarter. They'll call that on Welty. And Larson will hit the first of her 2. Fossil Ridge did open the season with a win, as that one is off the mark. They knocked off Rocky Mountain High School. I believe Rocky Mountain is the Lambkins. Maybe a Fossil Ridge fan on the stream can let me know if that's correct or not. And contact at mid-floor. Aaliyah loses it out of bounds, and with 2 seconds left, Fossil Ridge probably have the last shot. Coach Walls arguing that that was a foul. 2 seconds, 1, and Fossil Ridge won't get the shot off in time. So after 3 quarters of play, the Tigers trail it by 9, 34-43. We'll take a timeout here on the Erie Tiger Network. And welcome back in, Erie Tiger Network. By the way, thanks to someone in our chat who just checked it here between the break. That's right, Fort Collins High School is the Lambkins. Rocky Mountain are the Lobos. Should have remembered that. And turning the corner, stumbling and losing the ball out of bounds was Jessica Rockwell, the 5'5" junior. Now Grace will bring it up here for the Tigers. Tigers looking for a spark offensively. Thought that might come off the Aaliyah George 3. She'll catch, kick. Moyers for 3, just short. Grace just hasn't quite found it from deep yet. Eisbrenner dribbles, reverse layup, too strong. Good rebound by Hefner, looking for the outlet. That's Grace with it in transition, hesitates, drives, and they're gonna call a charge. And I think that was a good call that time as Grace dropped the shoulder and picked up her 4th team foul. Good defense that time by Jessica Rockwell, and the Tigers just got to start hitting shots. You know, they've been rebounding the ball well. They've had a bunch of open looks. They just have not been able to hit. As mentioned, that victory for Fossil Ridge in that first game. They won big. They don't have stats inputted into Max Preps yet, so we're not quite sure who the leading scorers in that first game and such. But they have come out and looked real tough here in this one. A good test for the Tigers. Good test to open the season against two quality opponents. Now Moyers will walk it up. 6:55 remaining here in the quarter. Grace with it. Between the circles, the right-handed dribble for Grace. Has George wide open for three. Oh, she rattles that one home. Aaliyah George has hit two big ones here in the last few minutes. And that cuts the lead back to 6 once again. Tip ball saved by Fossil Ridge. Another tip ball. Tigers just can't quite secure the steal. Now up top is Kohler. Right side, dribble, baseline, kick out. That's picked up by Welty, and there's the steal the Tigers were looking for. Altschuler picks up her dribble and just wheels it right back to Welty. Tigers picking up their dribble a little bit too early here. We'll give and go action there with Welty. She'll now flick it near or far side for Moyers. Moyers kicks to George. George really has the hot hand here. Welty with it. Fires it into the corner. George can't hang on, loses it. Kohler picks it up. Colbert had it. Now Kohler with it down low. Larson, the turnaround jumper. That's short off the front of the rim. Now here come the Tigers. Deb with it. Races up the floor. Hands off. Welty trying to feed it to Hefner. Hefner backing her way in. Off the window, just too strong. It almost looked like Anna was expecting contact, as there's a nice pass and a lay-in there by Eisbrenner. And the lead's back to 8. Tigers gotta start executing on the offensive end. Only 37 points tonight. Turnaround layup is good by Hefner in the block. More of that, more of that. Feed the post. 4:53. Ballack with it. Now up top is Colbert, and a timeout coming here from Fossil Ridge. Well, Tiger fans, don't forget to follow us on social media. You can like the Erie Tiger Media Facebook page. Follow us on Twitter at Erie Tiger Media, or on Instagram as well. And you can head to ErieTigerNetwork.com. We kind of have a tentative broadcast schedule up, but we're going to be pretty careful to just let you know that is very tentative in this COVID world. We are planning on doing a full broadcast for the girls and boys games against Fort Morgan coming up this week. And then if you've noticed, we have sprinkled in some live looks, what we call them, or solo casts actually are what we call them, which are live looks from just an iPad streaming. And that's to try and get you some lower level games that we can't necessarily make all of them. And so we've been working with the coaching staffs because we feel so terrible for you parents that couldn't be here to see your kids participate here in this winter season. Season B, actually. 3 ball, that's off the mark. Rebound is saved in the hands, though, of George. Handoff to Moyers. Moyers with 4 fouls here. Players calling Wolf, saying there's another player tracking behind. There's a kickball, and they'll reset. 4:19 remaining. Tigers trail it by 6 here. 2-possession game. A made 3 would cut it to 1 possession. I think that'd be big for the Tigers mentally if they could kind of break through that little 5-point barrier. It's been a while. Down low, Welty with it. Backs her way in. The little turnaround off the window. She just kind of faked over her left or over her right shoulder, went back over her left and tossed it off the glass and in. And it's now a 4-point contest. Tigers trying to climb back in this one. Extend their defense a little bit here. Near side, tiptoeing across the line, bouncing off. Shot off the window is good by Lauren Treat, the sophomore. Back to a 6-point game. Hefner with it. Charges hard off the window and good. And Hefner starting to find her rhythm, and the Tigers are enjoying feeding her in the post right now. There's a steal by Welty. It's a 2-on-1. Back to George, off the window and in. Oh, the Tigers have brought it back to within 2. 3:19 remaining here in this second half. George guarding full court here. Rockwell with it, off on the near side. Kohler fakes, drives, looking for the layup, off the window and gets that one to go. That was a tough one. Full speed runner there. Hard off the glass and got it to drop. Now Moyers kicks it. Hefner drives into the paint. Back to Moyers. Dials up a 3. Oh! Grace Moyers from downtown makes it a 1-point game. And you could just tell that was good the moment it left her fingertips. 2:45, quick 3. That's off the mark. Rebounded by Deb. Passes ahead, Hefner catches, dribbles into the paint, and they're going to call a charge. I don't think Coach Walls is going to like that one. And Coach Walls arguing his case. There was a lot of contact there. And I think what Coach Walls is saying is the defender was backing away as the contact was made. So 1-point game, 2:35 left as the Tigers have come charging back into this one. A good matchup here of top 10 teams in their respective classes. Fossil Ridge, a 5A school, Erie here in 4A. And the charge back kind of sparked by Aaliyah George, a couple big threes. And then they kept feeding Anna Hefner, and she just kept going strong to the rack time and time again. And then you saw the big 3 there by Grace. And tell you what, if Grace starts hitting shots, look out. I know there's only 2:35 left, but in that amount of time, she can absolutely go off. So 2:34 left. SaberCats with the basketball. Between the circles now is Larson. Hard left-hand dribble and a turnover there. That was partially poked away. Now George gets put in the spin cycle and loses the ball right back. Tigers had a huge opportunity there. Couldn't quite slow it down enough in transition as they tried to push. And a nice strip there from Deb. Deb will pass it up to Grace. 2 minutes left. Grace looking. Tigers could take the lead here. Grace wheels off near side, finds a wide open Deb, dribbles, spins in the lane, fadeaway jumper. That's no good. Rebound, left-handed layup. Oh, and couldn't get it to go was Anna. Right at the doorstep, just couldn't quite finish. 1:45 left. Tigers still within striking distance. Far side pass now. Ballack with it, guarded by Moyer. She has 4 fouls. Larson pulls up at the top of the key. Too strong. Rebound there by Hefner. They get it right back to Grace. 1:30 remaining. 1-point game. Tiger offense has come alive here in the fourth quarter, and a timeout there by Coach Walls. Full timeout. We'll step aside, take a quick timeout here on the Erie Tiger Network. Come in, 1:24 remaining. Tiger basketball, 1-point game, 48-49. Erie trails it here to Fossil Ridge. And Erie will inbound it here on the near side right in front of their bench. George will drop it in here to Grace. Tigers We'll let Grace fire. Just short was Grace. She definitely has that range, just hasn't quite been dialed in here. There are games where she will go off and hit 5, 6 of those in a row. 1:02 left. Good, tough defense here by Erie. They're really trying to extend out their man-to-man defense and force a turnover. Tigers trying to foul here. Ooh, and George turned her head to look at the official. There was a pass that floated right by her. And just unlucky mistiming there. But the Tigers will foul early here. I like this. You send them to the line. You get the ball, make them defend. And Erie's got some good free throw shooters. Front end of the 1-and-1 is good. 2-point game, sub coming in. That's Ballack for Fossil Ridge, and actually they're saying for the shooter. And she hits that one. So still one possession, but now a 3-point game. And if you're Coach Walls, you're probably still telling your girls, hey, best look. Best look. You don't have to force a 3. There's plenty of time. Moyer's with it in transition here. Tigers running some low ball screens for some 3-point cutters. Now Grace with it. Right hand dribble, hands it off. George right back to Grace. Fires a 3 quickly. Oh, she hits it and ties the game. Nothing but net there for Grace, and a timeout by Coach Walls right after the make, and we're all tied at 51. Grace, 2 big threes here. And Erie all tied up. Sorry, we're just trying to make sure our sound is still working. 51-51 with 28 ticks on the clock left. Tigers have come roaring back here. They've trailed it by as many as 10 here in the second half. In the first half, the SaberCats trailed it by as many as 10. And so both teams mounting big comebacks, and it's going to come down to maybe who's going to execute here in the last 30 seconds? Or perhaps even more basketball. Eisbrenner with it. Tigers double team in the backcourt. Good awareness getting out of that. Now Kohler with it. And they're going to call Welty with a foul. She didn't like that as she felt she was standing still and Kohler just tripped over her leg. And as we look at the replay in our booth anyways, trying to figure out if that was the right call or not, as it's a 1-and-1. That one banks home. Tough call either way. 1-point game, Fossil Ridge on top. That free throw too strong. Rebounded nicely by Hefner, and she got hit hard there and lost the ball, and then a foul, and the one player you do not want fouling there, Grace Moyers, commits the foul. Oh, that's a tough one. Now Hartle will come in. Now you take your best player off the court, down 1. And a timeout here by Coach Walls. But Tigers, they have fought back to this point. They're still in it for sure. Just got to find the right combination. But a tense one here in the waning moments. And unfortunate that that pass, in fact, the Tigers got a stop and they got a rebound there and then turned over the ball before half court on both possessions. And time is running low, but you have time. Take your time. Be patient. And I think maybe now with 14 seconds left, you reiterate that. Hey, you've still got time. Okay, be methodical down the floor. Be decisive. And good things can happen. And you have Aaliyah George, who has bombed in a couple threes here in this half. Anna Hefner has gotten hot down in the block. She could certainly make a shot. And you still have one of the best sharpshooters in the state in Deb Altschuler on the offensive end. You know, Ava Welty could get a tough rebound down low, and you have one of the faster players in young Madeline Hartwell, the freshman. So you've got weapons all over the floor still for Erie. And out to the line is Kohler, and her first shot is too strong. So Fossil Ridge, they have struggled from the stripe here in the last couple minutes. They've kept this game a little bit tighter. That one's off the mark. Long rebound picked up by Larson. And Kohler caught it, and a foul called, and she'll go back to the line. So 4 seconds, and she goes right back. And, you know, she just watched herself miss a couple in a row. That's tough in these tight moments to come back and make the next two. But the other advantage is you just shot two. All right. Now, if you're Erie, more than just crashing the boards, you want to box out. Of course, that last one, that was a long rebound. 1 point game, 10 seconds. Shot is good, 2 point game here. Welty into Deb, 9 seconds left. She'll bring it up the floor. Deb with it, dribbles into the paint, kicks it. George, 3 seconds left. BB's it, tipped and out of bounds, and the Tigers will drop one, 51-53. They never got the final shot off, and that's where you feel like if you had Grace, you know, she'd probably pull that trigger. Frustrating way to lose it after a tough battle back by Erie. They'll drop to 1-1 on the season, but a good game there. Fossil Ridge will improve to 2-0. And I imagine both these teams will make nice little runs into the playoffs. But that's going to do it for us here tonight. Our next broadcast of Tiger basketball will be against Fort Morgan. We'll have the girls and boys games. We'll also hopefully have some solo casts coming in the next week between wrestling and swimming and the lower levels of basketball. We'll try and bring you as many broadcasts as we can. For Ethan and Madison, I'm Brandon. Thank you so much for joining us. And one more time, the Tigers fall 51-53. That'll do it for us here on the broadcast. For everyone across the Erie Tiger Network, I'm Brandon Bird. Until next time, Tiger fans, I'll chirp at you later.